The following podcast may contain spoilers, strong language, graphic violence, and nudity. Viewer discretion is advised. That guy stole my pants!
Four guys and a movie. Four guys and a movie. Donnie, Brian, Rob, and Joe reviewing movies for the show. Four guys and a movie.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Four Guys in a Movie podcast, the podcast for nerds, by nerds, and robots that look so human you could never tell they're not human. They could easily infiltrate your base with a 20-foot-long gun, and no one would ever know. Until
how did they not notice he was carrying that? It was longer than him.
Oh, that's just 600-pound gun Gary. He's totally a human. He just has a 600-pound gun that he carries around. It's fine. Don't worry about that guy. Anyway, welcome to the Four Guys in Movie podcast. My name is Rob. I'm your host today. I'm joined by my fellow guys in no particular order.
Brian.
Tony.
And Cyberdyne Systems model Joe 800.
Oh, fuck, I forgot.
Slightly less buggy than the original model. Slightly.
I was going to call myself the T800 because I am T.
Now you did. Now you did. So it worked.
It happened. Yeah.
We watched a movie this fine day. It's called the Terminator, from the brilliant mind of the man that re-released Avatar in China just so he could outperform Endgame finally.
Wait, he did that? I didn't realize.
Yeah, he did that.
Oh, yeah.
He did that. 2020 Avatar came back to theaters just so he could have the highest grossing movie again.
Wow.
I like James Cameron, but damn.
I think the thing there is we liked James Cameron. He's lost it.
Well, Avatar 2 comes out next year.
Whenever.
Right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, Avatar 2 was supposed to come out last year. Avatar 3 was supposed to come out this year. So
remember, the original Avatar took like 15 years for him to do or something stupid like that.
And it was brilliant.
So we'll get the sequel right about the time that nobody cares, right?
Yeah.
So tell us about this movie we're watching today.
Obviously, as mentioned, it's The Terminator from 1984. James Cameron, also previously mentioned with our previous viewing of Aliens, True Lies. Of course, you got Terminator 2, Titanic, and
The Abyss.
Countless other Avatar movies that will probably never see the light of day.
They're great. Still fully relevant.
Of course.
Tone, you ever seen this shiz?
Yes. We're right on that already?
Yeah, we're right.
Oh yeah, of course I've seen this movie. I've seen this movie several times. It's a classic. It's one of the all-time greats. What more needs to be said?
And speaking of that, Cool Shades Brian, you ever seen this movie?
Yeah. Now, I didn't see it in its entirety until I was a teenager. As a kid, I always caught it halfway through. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I hadn't seen the beginning of it until I was a teenager, where I was like, oh, I watched the whole thing now.
Yeah, it was on TV a lot.
It was a whole lot. But yes, I have seen this.
And they only started it halfway through.
Yeah. Well, that's when shit starts happening,
Well, whenever there was a technical difficulty, they were just like, play the Terminator, play whatever half of the Terminator we have.
Joe, you seen this before?
I can't even recall the first time I saw this movie. It has, as far as I can tell, always been part of me.
Yeah.
I can't, I've just grown up with it. I don't know what I did for my first 4 years pre-Terminator, because it didn't exist yet, but I don't think I came online as memories I could remember until the Terminator was made.
Okay. I know that I've seen this a bunch of times. I couldn't tell you when the first time was for me. Certainly not as many times as Joe, but it is a very similar to Brian's situation. It was always on television, so I would always catch at least part of it. Probably once a week. Who in this movie?
We got a Arnold Schwarzenegger, as the titular Terminator. That's his full title, the titular Terminator.
He is.
Yep. And you got Pex, yeah.
I mean,
you got Linda Hamilton as Sarah Connor, and you've got Michael Biehn as Kyle Reese. And an appearance of Lance Hendrickson for a minute as the guy who tells a bunch of stories that nobody gives a shit about.
He tells to Chief Sassy Pants that could not care less about what he has to say.
The Chief's whole character trait was he doesn't give a fuck about Lance Hendrickson.
But Chief, these ladies died. Tell me something I don't know.
Also, don't forget Dick Miller as the worst pawn shop owner ever.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
No, this
The
cast
dumbest.
a lot of like faces that we know.
Oh, of course.
A very
Yeah, like
brief Bill Paxton.
Yep, with the Arnold wannabe, like
Yes.
And-
A deflated Arnold.
Cragface McGee.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any fun facts about this movie we should know, Tony?
Oh, so many.
Oh dear.
Um,
Pick your top 3.
Oh, damn. How do I do that? Well, no, okay. So I'll try and make this
spread them
brief,
out
but,
throughout the whole episode. You know.
Yeah, there you go. Just sprinkle them.
I'll sprinkle some of them, but
Joe's gonna enjoy
so-
his veggie straws, and
Hell yeah. I always eat veggie straws while listening to Tony talk.
I'm gonna crack
And interrupt him whenever he tries to put nuggets of wisdom out there.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
crack
sounds
my
about right.
marshmallow top Reese's peanut butter cups.
okay.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I mean, you want to like move the mic?
No, definitely not. I'm trying to get.
No, I want the crunches are part of the episode.
I want to make sure that me getting through this is as difficult as possible.
Mhm.
So,
I want Tony's concentration to be maximum dispersed.
and it's not like I have ADD already. So, obviously, James Cameron, this was one of his first big movies. He was a nobody at the time, so this really took him something to do. And in fact, he was like living out of his car. He had just gotten fired off of Piranha 2, and he was like sleep deprived and not eating very well. So supposedly he had a dream where a robotic man came out of the flames wielding a bunch of kitchen knives at him, which he, when he woke up, he quickly drew that and formed a script out of it. So that's how we get
Fever
this. Yes, sir.
I want to see the people from Piranha 2 that were just like, fuck, we fired this dude.
Yeah, right. Apparently, a lot of people were considered for some of the roles here, including famously now O.J. Simpson, who at the time they thought was too nice and would never be taken serious as a killer.
There you go.
Oh, yeah. Arnold Schwarzenegger auditioned for the Reese part, but like it just, I guess Cameron wasn't really feeling him as that part, but they got to talking.
Why?
And apparently Schwarzenegger had recently watched Westworld. And so he was like, oh, yeah, I got some cool ideas for how the robot should act, and was giving him all these ideas. So he finally was like, you know what? You're going to be my Terminator.
He was giving him ideas like, yes, just make it act like me.
Kind of, yeah.
Could, well, could you just imagine, though, if, say, just switching, like, Michael Biehn or whatever, like, he's the Terminator and Arnold's Kyle Reese, how badly that would not have worked?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and
There's
like,
the Terminator. I'm going to go beat him up.
yeah, it wouldn't be as bad as like Arnold Strong in Hercules in New York, where he just beats the shit out of that tiny man in the bear costume, and you're like, how is that supposed to be a threat? But it would be kind of like that, where you're just like, okay, he's some unstoppable robot, sure.
But it would be more fitting with the original vision of the script, because Cameron has even since said he would have never, on second thought, or if this didn't happen this way, he would have never hired Schwarzenegger, because the whole idea is it's supposed to be an infiltration robot, and Schwarzenegger does not fit in anywhere with anyone.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, that's just Terminator 2.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Well, and we'll talk about Terminator 2, but there's a lot of reasons. I'm one of the few people that maintains this is a better movie than Terminator 2, and that was not one of the main reasons, but that is one reason where I was like, it didn't work as well with the bad guy. Like, I would have preferred another Arnold rather than having Arnold as the good guy. But anyway, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we'll argue that on a different podcast. But interestingly enough, basically Terminator 2 was originally this movie. They just didn't have the budget they obviously couldn't do a Liquid Metal Man at the time. There was a whole bunch of different scripts and stuff that were involved.
Couldn't blow up that many cars.
Yeah, there were going to be 2 Terminators and 2 guys from the future that were sent back in the past. At one point, I think it was Orion Pictures that was financing them, and they had strongly suggested a cybernetic dog friend for Kyle Reese.
Yes.
That would have been fun.
Yes.
Yeah. But I think my favorite little tidbit I found was that during some downtime while making this movie, Schwarzenegger went to a local restaurant to pick up some lunch and was far too long into it when he realized he still had the Terminator burnt face makeup on.
Yay.
So back when no one knew what Terminator was, this large Austrian man walked into a restaurant with half a metal face and just ordered a salad or whatever.
And all everyone could say is, "Sir, where are your eyebrows?"
Yes. So you guys want to guess at what the budget this movie was working with?
This is a weird one because this is before Arnold was the big shit too. So you can get an Arnold, I'm guessing, relatively cheap. And then like Linda Hamilton and Michael Biehn weren't no thing. And Lance Henriksen probably just showed up.
I'm gonna say 20.
It's 84. I'm thinking it barely broke double digits. I'll just go with 10.
I'm gonna split it. I'm gonna say 15 million.
Wow, nobody wins. It was 6 million.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah,
Well, 6.5.
I knew it couldn't have been that much.
Well, I
Oh,
mean,
yeah, it was like
you know,
nothing.
Stan Winston had to make all those little models and he had to jiggle that puppet around for the last 20 minutes of the movie. That's money.
Oh, yeah. Want to guess how much it made?
Again, it's $84, but I'm thinking a number close
That's
to
it.
all
Joe
of the
said
money.
$84.
Yeah, I'm thinking all of the money minus $84, which would equate to like 80 million. I'm thinking of like a 12-to-1 return on investment here.
I'm gonna say 60. I think this did more afterwards.
$100 million.
Wow, unfortunately, I have to give it to Rob, even though Joe is so close. I was 78 million.
Oh,
Yeah.
overshot.
Just overshot by a bit.
That's pretty good though. That's a pretty
Which
good
it
ROI.
yeah. In 1984 dollars is all of the money minus $84.
Mhm. $84. All you need is that. So it's a robot movie,
Mm-hmm.
I guess. What
Rob,
what
what's
we
a
got?
robot?
It's a crafty infiltrating mechanoid designed to so perfectly mimic human crunching that you'd
Mhm.
never know it wasn't eating a whole bunch of veggie straws into a microphone.
Trying to finish them. I'm just shoveling record amounts of veggie straws into my mouth right now.
So while Joe eats his
He's
veggie
insatiable.
I will just
Insatiable.
throw out, I'm done with my talking for now, so you feel free to move the mic away. Anyway,
So yeah, it's Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he's a perfect representation of a human. You would never be able to know that it's not a person because he acts so natural. And yeah, there you go. He can easily walk into your base.
I would buy it as a not quite right computer's idea, like an idealized form of a man that it picked.
Yeah.
Like it
well,
was not.
This was the
Mhm.
older model, so they didn't quite have like speech patterns down and stuff.
Mhm.
I always figured like it was fucking huge because like they had to put shit over a metal fucking chassis.
That too.
So they're
Yeah, I
like-
agree with all that. My question is, why did Kyle Reese say we never knew they were coming? They would catch us by surprise.
So I'm guessing there's more than one configuration.
Yeah, we
It's
saw
not like-
one. There was the
It's-
dude
yeah.
that made it into their base. It was not
Yeah.
Arnold, but was still a beef monster.
Yeah. Well, they're not going to make like a rinky-dink version of one, but like there's multiple forms they can wrap over this chassis.
Also,
So-
to be fair, when this first, I don't know where they were at that point, but if this first shows up and you're used to fighting these, cyber skeleton things, you're not going to be like, oh, that beef monster must be one of them.
Mhm.
You're just going to be like, wow, that guy's weirdly big. Oh, shit, he's shooting us.
Well, yeah, the first one just hypnotized you with his pecs as he walked in, and you didn't even notice the 20-foot long gun.
You
Till he
don't
was
notice
shooting you.
600-pound gun Gary just chilling. Is it Jose here? Is it John, or is it this dude that just walked up to our group a second ago? I don't know.
Like,
Why are the dogs barking?
like the gun barrel must have been completely like down the hatch that he came in, and then he walks in and like the gun barrel's already in the base. Like I don't understand how he even got that down there. But anyway, we're way too far ahead. All right, so this movie starts right where you have to watch out for some what are now fairly obvious models are going around shooting people with lasers. But I remember as a kid, this was the shit.
Right.
Like those HKs were spooky as fuck. And we find out that the final battle for the survival of humanity is going to be fought tonight, but not in the future. It's going to be fought in the present. And for like a John Carpenter level simplicity to this song, this music is so damn good. With just a dun 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 dun.
I mean,
Dun 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 dun.
it is, but at the same time, you're like, did I get a bootleg? Did somebody put a MIDI file over the, over the opening song of this thing?
No, it's just deep in the 80s, my friend.
It's like a drum and a MIDI keyboard, and that's it. But like right in these opening credits, this movie's like, you want credentials? Boom, Arnold when he was gold. Boom, James Cameron. Boom, Stan Winston effects. Here's my dick. Pow. Well, I'm doing a little foreshadowing there, just like this movie does a good amount of foreshadowing. So that's a little foreshadowing I'm doing. All right. Yeah. So we cut to a garbage truck, just assaulting a dumpster. But it transitions because you just saw spooky robots doing spooky robot things, and now you see like a garbage truck from an even more unflattering angle than usual.
They're making
you're like,
sweet love, Joe. It's again foreshadowing for later.
Yep. And so fucking the garbage truck is there emptying the dumpster. Suddenly there's lightning everywhere, and there's a giant naked Austrian man. And I would like to give props to the garbage truck driver, smartest man in the film. He is like, my job's not worth this. Fuck the garbage truck. I'm out.
Correct.
He just runs out of the film. He's like, we're done here.
I'm going to go be the old guy in Weird Science.
Yeah, the lightning blew my hat off. I'm out.
I thought maybe it was Stanley from The Office.
So, yeah, at this point, my cat turned the computer off. I'm like, that did not make it far. So then I had to reboot my computer. And we cut to, like right when it starts up, we cut to a very blue-haired and aggressive Bill Paxton. Smashing like a bottle of alcohol on a telescope like he was christening a ship. And I don't know who this blondor that was using the telescope was, but he looks a lot like Ted, like the not Keanu Reeves one. And then there's like a deflated looking Arnold Schwarzenegger next to him. This trio of hooligans.
Well, this guy, we've seen this guy in a lot of movies.
Yeah, and he's also like any TV show that needed someone that looked like Arnold, they picked him for it.
Yeah, he was big on the X-Files, and he's the dude from Dragonheart that's like, they've always been revolting, now they're rebelling.
Oh, that's right, yeah. So, the one thing I did not remember from all the times I've seen this film, and it might just be because this is in a higher definition than like in the 80s. I didn't realize Arnold's dong is in the film, but there is definitely something flopping around down there as he walks up to these dudes.
Dirty danglers.
Yeah, it's the whole thing. The dirty danglers and the sloppy flopper. So he walks up to them and like he's just repeating what they say for a little while. And then he's just like, your clothes, give them to me now. And being the 80s, these three punks immediately pull switchblades on him. And Arnold,
my brain farted for a minute because dude's like, fuck you, asshole. In my mind, I'm like, Arnold goes, fuck you, asshole. But it's the wrong movie.
Still one of the best ways to come back from that line ever. So he murders the two smaller punks, including Bill Paxton. And then the bigger guy is just like, okay, I'm going to strip for you now. Here are my clothes.
I mean, he punched through a motherfucker. Like,
yeah.
Oh, he did, yeah. Granted, I mean, that guy was not a very substantial man, but he did punch through a motherfucker. So now, to contrast that, we get Kyle Reese on the scene, and he just sort of falls out of the sky, runs around naked for a little while, and this one dude's like, hey, man, did you see that bright light? And Kyle, as far as I could tell, he immediately edits that man's pants onto himself.
Yeah, I don't understand how that happened.
And then the cops are immediately like, unacceptable, pants theft, get
It's
him.
like, no,
Yeah.
no one's gonna see my dick.
Like I couldn't tell what happened there, and like they're like 3 or 4 cops were like, get that motherfucker. I mean, maybe the cops just saw the lightning and were like, let's see what's going on, and were like, oh, he's stealing pants.
I'm gonna hang that pants, Steven, son of a bitch.
So yeah, they start chasing him down, and the old drug dude is just like, hey, he stole my pants. And then yeah, and poor Kyle Reese never upgrades his pants. A different shirt shows up at one point, but he's wearing these like paint stain, shit stain, blown out
Yeah,
homeless man pants.
I don't think he can remove them himself. Like,
Yeah, I think they are just stuck on there.
I mean, he gets them off eventually.
Well, he gets help.
He needed help, yeah. So he does. Kyle Reese is a good multitasker. He breaks into this store. Well, no, first off, he beats up a cop, takes his gun.
Washing a potato peeler.
Yeah, and he's like, what year is it? And the cop's like, what the fuck's wrong with you? And then he runs into a store, and he is both like shopping and evading the police in what looks to be like a video game stealth level.
It's the Leftorium, and that's why he didn't get any new pants, because he was like, these are all left-handed pants. I can't wear any of these.
So, whatchamacallit, but he, it's like the first level, like the tutorial level of a game, because you get like all your equipment. Like he gets his handgun, he gets his shotgun, he gets his bum pants, his trench coat, and his Nikes, and goes over to a phone booth to look up Sarah Connor.
And don't worry, Keyboard Cat is drunk AF as he's doing the soundtrack for this scene.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, the other than the build-up music, the rest of the soundtrack to this film is just a cat on a synthesizer. So now we meet Sarah as she shows up to work and locks up her moped by a man known only as Big Buns. Well, a statue known only as Big Buns.
Well, you know what? It was kind of nice, because I was like, well, you know what? It's like Will is here in spirit after all.
So, she shows up for work. We see Arnold, he's all punked up. He steals a car. He looks all menacing. And then we cut back to Sarah at work, and her job is pretty much the worst thing ever. Yeah. All right, so several fat chat fouls happen in rapid succession. It's unclear whether she got the order wrong or if the people just don't remember what they ordered. While that's happening,
I'm going to throw in with this though. I feel that she did not have a notepad, which is kind of like, I don't know who to place a foul on.
Well, exactly. And the fouls are coming in so fast that you don't even have time to do like a discovery process.
Yeah, it was a beautiful glimpse world of retail and/or food service, though.
Oh yeah, I mean that's just how it goes. But like, so while you're trying to figure out what's happening there, this woman from 4 tables down is like, "Yo, we're ready to order," while she has 2 handfuls of food. Fuck that lady. She gets a fat chat foul. That's an open and shut case. That's a red card. Get out of the restaurant. Take your red card and go home. And then this other fucking kid, while this is happening, just takes a full spoonful of sherbet, of delicious sherbet, puts it in her pocket.
This kid needs to get punched in the dick and/or tits. I don't know.
Yeah. And you want to know?
She knocks over a drink onto a guy.
Oh yeah.
You want to know what reprimand this kid got? The dude's like, "Good job, kid. Maybe I should give you the tip."
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, he says that.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, the tip of my boot.
That's right before Sarah's roommate Ginger pops over her shoulder and is like, again with pointless foreshadowing out of nowhere, is like, "Look at it this way: in 100 years, who's gonna care?"
I mean, yep.
Yeah, but it's like, I care now.
Right now, yeah.
Should have been on the movie poster.
Yeah, I care about the sherbet in my pocket where my notepad should be.
Right.
That's when you just turn around, punch the kid in the face, and say, "Don't worry, in 100 years, no one will care."
Yeah. So you're just like, you're trying to make verdicts here, and you're just like, too much bad shit with food is happening at once. But we'll revisit Fat Chat Court later. So yeah, we move on to where are we now? Okay,
We're
so
back at their
we're
apartment now.
no Arnold. Arnold is going gun shopping at Futterman's,
Oh yeah.
and
It is fun.
yeah, he's like getting a shotgun. He's getting an Uzi. He's getting, which in 1984 was the shit. He got the pistol with the laser sight on it.
I
And-
like how the dude's like, so you have to wait 15 minutes for these ones, but you can have this one right now.
Yeah.
The
There's a
handguns
wait
are
on the
15
handguns.
days, but the rifles you can just walk out of the store with.
I mean, there's still places like that now.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Also, there's ammo to load the gun right here,
Right there.
conveniently at the register.
Right
Yes.
on the counter.
Well, it's it's one of those impulse buys.
Yeah. Well,
right,
I mean,
right.
it does make sense in the context of in the 80s when that wasn't regulated. Someone would just be like, "Oh shit, I need my shotgun shells."
Like, well, I did just buy a shotgun. I probably should pick up this box of 50 shells
And
in case shit goes tits up on the drive home.
I have to shoot a giant Austrian man like 50 times.
In case gremlins.
Yep. So, what you call it? So yeah, he buys all the guns at Futterman's, and Futterman's like, "Yo, you can't load that here," and he's just like, "Wrong," and shoots him. Then it cuts to Kyle Reese in an alleyway doing little modifications to his police shotgun, where he makes it into a sawed-off, gets a little like bit of clothesline or whatever, so he could hang it off his shoulder.
It's not even sold up though. He just
cut the-
pulled the stock off. That's it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
Still-
true. Okay, he cut the
still long
stock
as
off.
fuck.
Yeah, but it fits in his trench coat now. Yeah, he goes wandering off into the world, and then more foreshadowing for later because we see what appears to be an 18-wheeler, but it turns out it's just a tiny little Erdl truck, and Arnold runs this cool ass truck over with a station wagon. But I'm like, don't you worry, truck. You'll get your revenge later. And he walks up to this house, knocks on the door, asks for Sarah Connor, and just busts in there and shoots the shit out of this poor woman. And then it cuts quickly to Sarah's, her shitty friend Ginger is like, check it out on the news. You're dead. Isn't that cool?
She fucking
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah. Then, Reese is like, nothing action scene-wise has happened in this film yet, so I'm going to have a flashback and watch this crane turn into a tank, and then, back in the future where he has to, his walk to work every day involves having to blow up the hunter-killer tanks and whatnot.
It's the weirdest flashback too, because he steals a car, he hotwires a car, and then he just passes out.
Yeah. Why did you sleep there first before hot wiring the car? You're just going to leave it running the whole time?
Yeah, it was so weird.
In case a car chase broke out.
Yeah, I guess so.
Which, I gotta tell you, happens a lot in this
Yes.
world, apparently.
In this movie, yeah, they do like their car chases.
Mad Max Fury Road was looking over here kind of jealous, hey, enough with the car chases,
And that's-
guys.
That's one thing I never understood. I never made it past the third Terminator movie, but this franchise has a lot of car chases. A lot. Because Terminator 2's Terminator 1 had a lot of car chases. Let's put more in there. And
Well,
different
I-
vehicles.
I need to think about the context of it. It's all right, we got one dude versus another dude, and the other dude is way stronger.
Yep.
We're just gonna have to have them chase each other in vehicles.
Yeah.
That's the only thing we can do, I guess.
Mm-hmm. So in this future world, giant tank robots drive around and shoot lasers everywhere. And Reese blows one of them up with, I don't even know what that, he looked like he threw a thermos under it,
Mm-hmm.
and it blew the whole fucking robot apart. And then the robot's like, oh yeah, well, I'm going to blow your woman that's traveling around with you up. And
I do love all the models that they made for this.
Oh yeah, fantastic model work.
yeah, that tank looks cool as hell. So, he's like, all right, well, that woman died. I guess I'm just going to get in this technical now and drive around. And this airship thing is like, well, I'm going to fly after you and fire lasers at you. And Reese crashes the technical into a pile of junk. It flips over. Sucks to be the dude that was actually in the gun position because you see he's all folded up now.
I felt so bad for the stuntman in that because I'm sure they put a dummy in that position.
Yep.
But every bump it hit, it was fucking just flopping around.
I'm pretty sure for the driving portions, it looked. I mean, I pride myself on picking out the models.
Mhm.
That like for the driving portions, it looked like a real a stunt driver was actually like holding on to that. He was
Mhm.
probably like harnessed in, but they were shaking him around. As soon as that car flipped, it was a dummy. 100%. And it's just for like a split second you see it. But you could see the arms were like, yeah, no more bones. Sorry guys.
I do appreciate how this scene became one of the greatest arcade games ever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So what's interesting in a movie where like 60 to 75% of the things that happen are foreshadowing, Reese in all of his flashbacks, they end with him burning to death. Doesn't burn to death. Interesting. So it cuts from, him burning to death in a technical to Sarah rocking a sweet Jetsons shirt in front of a mirror.
Well, the problem is, Joe, that's because in the original Snyder cut, he does burn to death, but in this, they brought in James Cameron to finish it out.
No, I need
change the whole thing.
I need my 4-hour cut of Terminator.
Yeah, definitely do that.
Mm-hmm. The way it was intended to be. So Sarah answers the phone, and Sarah's roommate Ginger, her boyfriend Max, just immediately, without checking who's on the other end, just goes into the "I'm removing your clothes over the phone" move.
He didn't care because he was like, if either one responds to this, I'm in.
He's like, I don't care if it's the iguana.
Just throw stuff at the wall and see what sticks, man. It's like,
exactly.
What's she gonna do? Yell at me? Okay. But maybe this time, maybe she's into it.
We learned that Sarah has a pointless iguana named Pugsley.
Yeah, this is pretty much Patty and Selma the college years.
Yeah.
Is what we're dealing with here.
So
does get into one little issue with this, which is she's supposed to be 19. She is
okay.
Clearly
she is
not 19.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
all right.
Linda Hamilton's a lovely lady, but I don't think Linda Hamilton ever looked 19, even when she was 19.
Probably not.
So anyway, her and her roommate are getting ready for their dates. They got their shoulder pads, they got their blown out hair, and Sarah's date cancels. So she's like, fuck it, I'm going to go to a movie. I'm going
to go to Pizza Hut by myself.
Just, fat chat's not a game. She's just going to go over there and just kill a pizza on her own.
That was the saddest thing I think I've ever seen in a movie.
I'm pretty sure this is before the invention of the personal pan pizza. So she's at least killing a small on her own.
Oh yeah, she's living my life. Like, I don't have a date. I'm going to go to the movies and down a pizza.
Yeah, but you have the sense not to go sit at the restaurant.
They don't allow Tony in there anymore.
You're gonna eat it. You're gonna eat it in your car or on the bus or something.
Yeah.
You're not gonna sit at a freaking booth for 4 people with a pitcher of Pepsi.
Whole pitcher.
Just quietly reading Books and Beyond pamphlets while you just house a freaking pizza all by yourself.
Why not? I paid for it.
Yeah. And I like Ginger's play here because so Sarah's like, all right, I'm gonna go see a movie. Ginger's like, fuck the entire date that I had planned with Matt. Just come over. We're gonna fuck. Done.
Yeah, you're going out. Okay.
Yep.
This is where it's going anyway. So
yeah.
By the way, question: is there ham in the fridge? Okay, thanks. Get out. I'm gonna need that ham and peanut butter, I guess.
For my after sex sandwich and fixins. Anyway, so we see now that there's a Kyle Reese stalking Sarah.
Yeah,
he's so subtly chasing her down in a giant 80s car while she's riding on that little moped. And what should we call it? The answering machine now at this point, it picks up a call from a police officer, but it's it's not heard because Matt and Ginger are busy both fitting into Ginger's shirt. I can't say I've ever tried that move. I can't say I've ever dated a woman where that move would even be physically possible.
No comment.
Yeah. But yeah. So
Well, also, just to point out, she is living the kind of life I'm kind of envious of, where apparently her headphones are permanently fixed to her ears.
mhm.
Just music all the
Yep.
time.
And Matt doesn't give a damn. He's like, fine, she could listen to music while I
Still
pork her.
counts.
Whatever.
Still
Still counts. So
He's not interested in talking with her.
no, he is not. In reality, probably when he calls and just phone sexes her, she's listening to the headphones anyway. So
Yeah.
um
I got my tissues. You do whatever you want.
so now we meet what you call it, Lance Henriksen's lieutenant whatever, and then Chief Sassy Pants here. I don't know if we ever really catch these guys' names.
Trazer is the chief's name, something like that.
So either way, like Lance Henriksen's like, hey, I gotta talk to you, and he's like, I don't like talking to you. And then he's like, well, there's 2 Sarah Connors that have been killed tonight, and there's a third. I'm trying to call her. We're not getting through to her.
and the chief's response is, "Well, call her.
Yeah.
Why don't you call her?" He's like, "Well, I've been that's what I said. I've been calling her like a bunch of times, and but have you tried calling her though?
Yeah,
No,
call her again.
Like, I'm like, maybe send a patrol car.
No, he
He's
said
like,
send a unit
he
over,
said
and he's
somebody.
like, I already sent a unit over. No one
Okay.
answered.
Yeah,
And I'm like, I'm sorry, but at that point, I'm pretty sure you're allowed to send the cops into their home.
right. It's like, well, then she's probably dead.
Yeah.
They probably-
I'm pretty sure that's an
Yeah.
imminent threat where you can, at that point, the whatever 4th Amendment or whatever doesn't apply.
Keep in mind, this is the same dude that's like, so tell me what the deal is. And then as he's telling him it, he's like, yeah, I can read that, dummy. Like, well, then why the fuck are you asking?
Because I like to yell at you.
I mean, I like this chief, but he's just too
Yeah.
sassy for his own good.
And he's like, give me a cigarette. So fucking Lance Henriksen hands him the entire pack, and he's like, you motherfucker. Throws the whole thing down.
Well, I think
Well,
it's because
he's
he already had a cigarette in his hand.
Yeah. Yep.
Already smoking.
All right. So now, Sarah discovers as she leaves Pizza Hut that she has this man following her. Little does she know, Kyle's just like, I've never seen a lady eat a whole pizza like
Well,
that.
that's the thing. If you're gonna eat Pizza Hut by yourself, like you're gonna walk home with a bunch of homeless guys following you.
And if you think about it,
That's what happens.
this dude who has probably never in his life had a pizza. Pizza is just something that he heard about from the old times.
Like, how do you think I got these
Just-
shit stains on these pants?
Yeah, stood there and watched this woman eat like a whole. Granted, it's a grody pizza, but still, to him, it's like, imagine how much that must have sucked. Just be like, yeah, I want some of that pizza.
I mean, I was watching. I was like, man,
Yeah.
I want some pizza right now. I know I won't like it,
Mm.
but I want it anyway.
Honestly, if I got sent back, if I was the one they picked to go back and stop the Terminator, I think I'd just be like, well, I'm gonna live. Fuck the rest of y'all.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go eat all this food and watch movies.
Right, but I'll be long dead before the
Yeah.
this stupid
I'll just blow up in a nuclear fireball in a few
That's
years.
it.
It's fine.
I'll do it with this soft, greasy crust in my hand.
Yeah. I'll be dead of a heart attack before that anyway. It'll just be like when Bender was human. Like,
Weirdly undercooked dough ball.
Meanwhile, so Sarah cuts into this club named Tech Noir.
Mm.
And the police emergency line is busy. Probably just because a bunch of people are like, hey, do you know that 2 Sarah Connors died tonight? So
Because
while
they
this
wouldn't leave a line open just in case
No.
she called, right? Like that'd
Nope.
be silly.
So now Ginger over here, still with the headphones on,
Oh, Lord.
after sexy times, sees that Matt is passed out. She's like, I need at least 2 ham sandwiches and a whole pile of peanut butter covered celery.
Right.
And, wait,
And
what,
a gallon
what
of
killed me was a full glass of milk.
Full glass of milk.
Brian, have you never had a post-coitus ham sandwich and a gallon of milk?
Like, the ham sandwich, fine. Even the celery, fine. It was the milk. I'm like, what?
Like
the
a whole damn meal. Now, granted, maybe right when Matt came over, they just went right to doing it. She hadn't had dinner yet. She's like, fuck it, I gotta eat something.
Gotta get that dick
Maybe.
taste out of my mouth.
Yeah. Give me them celery sticks full of peanut butter. All right. Do we
Or maybe
Do-
he's one of those guys who thinks that like once you've ejaculated, you could just drink milk and it will refill you.
I don't want to think about that.
I feel like she probably was like I know where this night is going. Let's cut to the chase. It's gonna be one song worth. Then I can fucking have my dinner.
All right. So, is this lady just executing like, normal everyday protocols, or do we give her like at least a fat chat honorary, mention here?
I mean,
she was hungry, so I will give her the mention. But the milk is weird.
it's weird.
Yeah.
But there was no cookies. There was no cereal. Like, it was just a full glass of milk.
Like, I thought they stopped doing that shit in the 50s, like where you just would sit down and drink a glass of milk. Like, it's just a glass of milk.
Just needs
Listener, do you do that? What's up?
Yeah, could you email us at the4ampodcast@gmail.com? Or, you could just Twitter us if you want. I need to know this. I don't want to know about your bedroom stuff. Do you drink just a glass of milk? Is that a thing? Like glass of milk, but no cookies are involved. You're not dunking anything. You're just sitting there like Luke-ass Skywalker drinking a glass of damn milk.
Well, I want to see, maybe she's dunking either the celery sticks in peanut butter or
That's
like
gross.
this. Yeah, no, nothing here is good. Nothing I'm about to say is a good idea. But maybe she's doing that or sticking in what appeared to be like two separate like ham and cheese sandwiches stacked on top of each other.
The only thing that would be acceptable is if the glass of milk was for her boyfriend.
Yep.
And even then, it's still fucking weird.
That's not acceptable. That just means he's the one drinking the milk like a weirdo.
Well,
And
Matt's
she's
busy.
and then she's just eating a dry ham sandwich and peanut butter celery.
White bread and ham sandwich.
Oh.
All right. So while this is happening, Arnold just smashes into the bedroom and beats Matt's ass in his little stripy underwear. And I like how he threw Matt through a window, like real fucking far. And Matt's like, you know what? I'm going to go up and charge that guy again. This man who has like 50 pounds on me.
I'm giving him some credit to begin with.
Like, he just came. He could take on the world,
Maybe that's it, but I'm giving him some credit because, he's taking on a fully clothed in like leather biker gear Arnold Schwarzenegger in his, banana hammock.
Yep.
Like,
his head is full of endorphins. He just woke up from that, post-coital nap, and he's like, "Where's my ham sandwich?"
All right, so then he fucking we get a jump scare because I guess that's the only reason Pugsley the iguana's in this movie, to jump scare Ginger. And then Ginger's on her way back to the bedroom where we get the actual scare as Matt goes flying through the door. And Arnold comes out, guns her down, and is like, "Okay, I did it. I did the thing. Yay." But then, Sarah calls. "That wasn't Sarah that you killed." Sarah's like, here's all the important information for where you could find me. Come get me.
She's good at that.
Yep. Yeah, that's a recurring theme in this movie. So
but okay.
So Arnold gets in the club apparently faster than I guess Arnold probably stole money and Kyle Reese did not, but Arnold he's just in the club. He's like, he hears the message, he teleports to the club.
No, like the lady says, that guy didn't pay, but he just
he shakes that guy's hand to death. Like, so he grabs that bouncer's hand, that dude just crumples to the floor. Like, all right, I guess he died.
Kyle, who was following her, I guess did they just see his pants and were like, "Nuh-uh, not in my club."
We smelled you before we saw you. You turn around, friend.
So either way, you get this cool slow-mo scene where it's like, Sarah drops her Canada Dry, then she looks up and it's like, "Uh-oh, there's Kyle Reese. Uh-oh, there's Arnold Schwarzenegger. Everyone's looking at everyone. Lots of stares." And then you're like, "Oh my God, this guy's got a shotgun, but he's not shooting at her because there's a giant fucking Arnold about to gun her down, put the laser sight on her forehead." And Reese shoots Arnold for a while. Yeah. Just like, shotgun doesn't have that many shells, like a while. And Arnold's just like, okay, I don't understand I understand the reasoning from a dramatic standpoint, but why does the robot get when it gets knocked down, it's like, I'm gonna chill for a little while, then do like a Undertaker style sit up.
So
And-
because it has to actually get to the part in the Chumbawamba song that
Yep.
tells him what to do.
That's right. It has chumbawamba.exe.
I got knocked down.
I picture it like that fucking 4-legged robot that they keep kicking over in you know all the clips. It has to it takes a second to write itself. Like, wait a minute, where am I? Okay, here I am, and it gets up.
And then they train it to pee.
Well,
Oh, they do.
see, now they've programmed that Boston Dynamics robot so it just looks at the person that kicked it like, come on, dude. Then it goes back to what it's doing. So anyway, so now you get another iconic line from the franchise where Reese grabs Sarah and he's like, come with me if you want to live. And we get our first glimpse of Terminator vision as Arnold is chasing them down. As a kid, again, I thought this was cool.
Yeah,
He sees in
it
red.
don't hold it well.
He's got all kinds of options popping up on his screen for whatever reason. He's got a really low res camera, and I don't know how this robot sees anything.
I could not tell what the hell was on the screen. I was like,
Yeah.
what am I looking at right now?
No, granted, the
They were
robot,
hoping for it.
the robot doesn't get distracted by all the shit popping up on its HUD, but like,
Well,
like
see,
why is
that's-
any of that popping up on its HUD?
That's why it takes a while to get up, because he falls over and he goes, fuck, shit, fuck.
Well, it's like a GPS. It has that moment of like recalculating.
He's got to scroll through 3 pages of options before it just says stand up.
And so now, he's chasing them down. Reese is like, check this out. He just shoots his shotgun at a car once, blows the whole car up. And I believe that blows Arnold's eyebrows off because they're gone for like a while. They come back every so often, but like they're gone for I think till he loses his eye. They're gone.
Yeah.
And Arnold without his eyebrows, it is pretty creepy looking. And it does it reinforces the theme of it. This is a robot pretending to be a person kind of deal. Like where it looks to me, it's like, oh, it mostly looks like a person, but without those fucking eyebrows, it's so weird.
And all you can think is, and y'all fell for this stuff, huh? Okay.
In
So I
all
was too-
fairness, they were also heavily traumatized.
I mean, I guess.
So Reese just loses the cops. He goes into a parking garage. Sarah bites the shit out of his hand, and Kyle looks at that and he's just sort of like, it's kind of cool.
Yes, stop.
Yeah.
Stop,
and
girl.
For the rest of this scene, Sarah just has blood around her mouth like a damn vampire. Yeah, and then Kyle Reese is like, all right, here's the deal. I mean, this is 1984, so this hasn't been done to death yet. But yeah, the government totally made this computer, and without testing it, gave it access to live ammo. It decided all humans were the threat and fucking, attacked us.
So here's what I didn't realize as a kid, like how optimistic they were about the future of technology. Because it's 40 years in the future they have fucking cyborgs and time travel.
Yeah.
I mean,
Today.
Yeah, it is today. Yeah. The only thing I could say about that is assuming the only real big variable that was different was a rushed increase on artificial intelligence. Once it got to the point where the machine was doing the inventing, that makes a lot more sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, that timeline didn't have coronavirus. If we didn't have that put a stop on things, we would have been right
Bitcoin
there.
either. Whew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And depending on how much you want to argue with all this, it's all very time loopy, because I believe the second one sets up that a lot of this happens because Joe Morton finds the arm from Arnold from this one, and that's how the ball starts rolling.
Yeah, but even then, that's set in 2000.
Yeah.
So even then, that's just 20 years. So in 20 years, they go from that to fucking, cyborgs and time travel.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't know
It's
if you
crazy.
guys know this, but they just announced an Optimus Prime toy that transforms itself, says all kinds of phrases, and it's $700. So, I mean, we're pretty much right there. We're pretty much right
so you
there.
want,
guys.
Comes with a gun loaded with live ammo, and it will kill you.
Yes.
Oh, no, I'll kill myself if I ever order that.
But I do appreciate that in the scene, he basically says, yes, there's time travel. They blew it up. They can't do it again.
Well, I also like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
He does put in the whole like it's alternate universe, so don't worry about it. Like that universe is basically, it's all going to be different now that I'm back here. So it's like that makes it a little more possible, not like, one continuous time continuum where you're like Doctor Who style jumping around.
Well, that's not entirely true though. He believes that, but as we find out, he's the father of the kids, so it probably is one timeline, because if he had never gone back, there wouldn't have been the kid.
I guess. I mean,
That was
so
someone from a
we
different
don't.
timeline
Yeah.
that went back.
So we don't know for
yeah.
sure though that John Connor actually knew that Kyle Reese would be his father and sent him back. So
Yeah.
But so it's possible in the original timeline, Kyle Reese is not John
I
Connor's
see.
father.
Okay.
Either way, though, I like at the end of the movie, Sarah's just like, someone will go crazy thinking about all that. The movie's like, don't worry about it.
Yep.
So, all right. So yeah, we learn about John Connor. He was the one that organized the resistance against the robots, and somehow they won. I don't know how that
Super
that
lucky.
went about, but what's that?
Super lucky.
Super lucky, I guess. Yeah.
They found the head sentinel and blew it up, so it couldn't make more. What was it Master Mold? They found Master Mold, blew it up.
Master Mold, yeah.
Well, so he's saying they won. We don't really know how that looked.
True.
Well, maybe the AI is just janky as fuck on all these things. Like that might be true. Like they might have impressive advantages in firepower, mobility, and armor, but they're just dumb as fuck. So he does say that some of them are not that bright. But anyway, he hotwires this car, and the moment he moves, Arnold Schwarzenegger's like, "It's time for another car chase." Another one happens. It ends with Arnold crashing his cop car into a wall, and then Sarah hitting the brakes on the car they're in, and the cops kind of surround them all. Arnold uses his bad guy teleport to simply disappear. He's just gone.
Throws a smoke bomb and just.
And Sarah and Kyle are busted. So now we're back at the police station, and we learn about Ginger and Matt being dead. And douchebag Dr. Silverman is on the scene. This guy fucking sucks.
Sure does.
Just he comes in, she's crying, he's yawning, and then like he's like,
"Oh, what's this bitch's problem?"
I mean, he does kind of, I guess this is how we looked at mental illness in the 80s, I guess, before a lot of, what we know today. Because like he just looks at him, he's like, yeah, he's crazy. Whatever. Fuck him. So he's talking to Reese, and Reese is just like, he's explaining everything to him, and the doctor's like, yeah, this guy's crazier than a coconut. I could write a whole book on him. But Arnold, we cut back to him. He goes back to his apartment, and I remember as a kid, these special effects were so fucking cool, but they did not age very well. As he's
at
like,
all.
What are you saying? What are you trying to say? These are amazing.
We're not at the head yet, but this is the part where he's working on his arm.
Yeah.
Yeah, do with that line that I just said what you will. But anyway, so he's like digging around in his own arm, and you see like actuators and stuff moving around in there. And then like we're cut back to more of the interrogation of Reese here. And while the chief's trying to listen, Lance Henriksen's trying to start a story about some sort of burnt Afghan porno thing where like a guy fucked and torched an Afghan or something. The chief's just like, shut up.
It was a magic Mormon sex blanket, I think.
Not the standard Mormon sex blanket.
No, it was a magic one.
No, this one was consecrated at the temple. So now we cut back to Arnold pop on his finest robot head and pop his own eyeball out.
Yeah.
Only to apply sunglasses and become Arnold Schwarzenegger again.
Yeah,
Well, go ahead.
Say what you want about how well this holds up, but for the time and for the budget, that's fucking amazing.
I wouldn't have lit it so well, but
Yeah.
like, yeah, for 1984, that was the shit.
Yeah.
You're looking at that now and you're like, that is a pretty unfortunate prosthetic head.
I mean, you can also give it a bit of a
Yeah.
pass because it's supposed to be a robot with a fake skin on it.
Yeah.
So looking fake doesn't hurt as much.
I will say though, all the teases we're getting at what's underneath Arnold are all cool though. Like, so you kind of like, I remember at the time really wanting to believe in this effect more than, you know, what it was giving me to believe in, because it's still like, oh, look at that eye's so cool. Never mind the fact that it's surrounded by this like really bad fake head. So yeah, after doing all that, he just gears up to he gets himself his assault rifle and the shotgun. He's just I'm gonna go kill a bunch of cops.
Yeah, why not?
Right. What else are you gonna do?
Yeah. So yeah, the cops are like, all right, Sarah, here's the deal. You didn't see, a guy get up from being blasted by a shotgun. He was just wearing this body armor. Lance Henriksen's about to tell some story about something. The Chief's again's like, shut up.
Yeah.
So then, like, she's like, well, the dude fucking punched right through a windshield, like, no problem. And Lance Henriksen's like, oh, he's just high on PCP.
Yeah, he's a crackhead.
Just a crackhead got into the wrong stuff. So, yeah, the Chief's like, all right, here's some famous last words. You're safe. There are 30 cops in this building. And we cut to the scene that really kind of defined Arnold Schwarzenegger's career for a long time. He just walks into the police station, walks up to the guy at the desk, and is like, I want to see Sarah Connor. And the guy's like, she's given a statement, fuck off. And so Arnold looks around, takes the measurements of this room, and is just like, I'll be back. And, that would go on to be Arnold's like hallmark for not really so much today, but for a long ass time. That was worked into everything. And, in this scene, it friggin' works because he's back with a fucking car and just runs this dude over.
Yeah. It's still an iconic line, despite the fact that the other movies have kind of beaten it to death.
Yep. And as much as I love this movie, I will always point out you can't like just one hand a shotgun, or there's no advantage to. I guess, and maybe it's an automatic and he doesn't need to pump it, but whatever. He's dual wielding a shotgun and an assault rifle.
Right.
And he just walks around and shoots the shit out of the police station, kills everyone, fucking murders Lance Henriksen, he looks at the circuit box for the place and he's like, I don't know, switches, and just rips the electrical wire out of the wall and shoves it into the fuse box to shut the power off.
Sure.
I mean, it works, but
yeah, why not? I mean, whatever.
Sure. Yeah. The police station's on fire somehow. Kyle's just like, there's one cop set to guard Kyle. Kyle's like, you ain't worth shit, and just beats this dude up with handcuffs on. I think he's cuffed to a chair and he just beats this guy's ass. Grabs Sarah, they escape, and they just get away, and Arnold's just like, darn, and just walks off after them. So they ditch the car and spend the night under a bridge. And this is where Kyle talks to her more and tells her about, she's a hero and prepare John Connor to fight the machines and all that. And he had a message for Sarah that he says to her. And then they go to sleep and get another future flashback where it's Kyle coming home from a hard day of fighting giant robot tanks. And he goes into a bunker full of survivors. Some kids are watching a burning TV, which I always thought was just a cool image.
Yeah.
And what the hell else are you going to do down there, I guess? At least it's keeping them warm. So one kid's like got a toy gun. He's like, pew, pew, to Kyle. Kyle's like, I have a fucking assault rifle.
Fuck yourself, kid.
And like this whole time, I believe a gun barrel is walking down the stairs to get into this place. Now, mind you, this place you need a password. There's dogs that have to sniff you. There's a locked door. All of that. No, the moment Kyle pulls out his Sarah Connor picture to look at her, this dude fucking, like that we've alluded to, this dude walks in with a 20-foot long gun and just shoots everyone. Like, I don't know. Go ahead, Brian.
I do like how like a lot of this shit, not a lot of, but people and some of the equipment makes its way into like Alien or Aliens. Because the gun he's holding is one of the rifles that they're using in Aliens.
It's like the smart gun.
Yeah,
but without the robot arm that like holds it in place for you.
He is a robot.
He is a robot, so he can do it.
His arm's the robot arm.
And it's like twice as long. Like, I don't understand. How did he kill the people that were right next to him with it, because there's no way you pointed that at them.
They jumped in front of it, I guess.
I guess, yeah. He shoots the dogs. He shoots the kids. He's shooting everybody.
Shouldn't the dogs be like outside, like before you get in the door?
The layout was so dumb.
Yeah. I'm only guessing they didn't really have a good choice of scrap hole to set up shop in.
I mean, I guess, but
maybe, I don't know. So Kyle again burns to death, watching a photo of Sarah burn. And we cut back to at Arnold's apartment, where the hairiest man in the world knocks on Arnold's door and patiently waits for Arnold to select a profanity from a menu.
Fuck you, asshole.
And the guy's just like, all right, and leaves.
it's me, Mario.
Like
And Bob
twice
Hoskins over there.
Yeah, twice as hairy as usual, Mario. He's like, did you kill a cat in there or something?
No,
That was
I
the
had
room
Pizza
service
Hut.
man too. Like, he had a cart full of cleaning stuff.
He does it all.
Yep. So Sarah and Kyle go get a motel room, and like Kyle's like, don't tell anybody where you are.
That's right.
And Sarah's like, call my mom and tell her where I am.
Make sure there's a kitchen. We're making meth.
Yeah. One thing he brought back from the future is skills how to make meth. I mean, he could have thrown meth at Arnold and it probably would have been more effective than the pipe bombs he makes.
In the 80s? Yeah, probably.
But anyway, so little does Sarah know her mom's dead, and because her mom was hiding at this cabin, and Arnold was there, and he can do some ventriloquism, and he pretends to be Sarah's mom, so now he knows exactly where they are. And meanwhile, Sarah and Kyle build some pipe bombs. And then Kyle's like, yeah, I wanted to come back because I love you. And then he's like, I'm going to pretend I didn't say that and go stuff these bombs into a bag. And Sarah's like, no, it's cool. Let's do some sexy times.
Yeah, you're going to stuff something else into something else.
It's like an awkward scene.
Yeah.
Like, you're like, whatever, fine. Let's
Yeah,
go.
he's like, no,
Yeah.
Sarah, I need to cut the fuses on these bombs so they don't take forever to go off.
I mean, and it's literally like the last non-action scene of the film. So they're like, it's almost like the movie's like, are we going to do it? Are we not going to do it?
It's an action scene.
Well, I guess of a different kind.
He's like,
but
I know we just met, but hear me out, because I've been masturbating to your picture for like years now.
Furiously masturbating.
Yeah. So we witnessed the conception of John Connor.
Mhm.
And yeah, see, he should have told her to
The legend is splooshed.
to like tell Kyle that tell John Connor that Kyle says what's up or something in the future. Anyway,
Yeah.
so
No. When he first meets me, just tell him to smell my fingers.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Hey, John. I banged your mom, bro.
And at
So-
the time, he won't know that, and I won't know that. But now, it's hilarious.
yeah, it's important right now that I know that. All right, so they make some loving, and then right as they're getting dressed, Arnold's like, Dog's like, yo, that Austrian man is missing half his face and smells like a robot. Second smartest man in the film was the guy who was about to get in his car and saw Arnold with the assault rifle and was just like, I don't want any trouble. But
Come on. It's been 15 minutes without a car chase.
so Arnold runs in, just shoots the shit out of everything in the hotel room. But Kyle's like, joke's on you. We edited ourselves out of here and are now in a car. And they
If I
drive
remember
off.
correctly, he rides on a motorcycle there, right?
He does, yeah. Carrying
like
an
how
assault
fun-
rifle the whole way.
Yeah, a bunch of the scene, he has a fucking assault rifle on his shoulder. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, on the
That's-
way there, he's holding it in one hand and driving with the other.
Yeah, like,
Cyberdyne system special programming allows us to walk around with giant guns and no one notices.
I think it uses more of the nobody wants to notice him stealth.
Isn't that right, 600-pound gun Gary?
So, all right, we got a fucking chase scene going on here, and this one's a good one. They at least, they saved the best one for the end. And Reese's pipe bombs are like essentially just a smoky fart. Like I'm pretty sure like something more scary has come out of my own ass. Like he's throwing these things today. Yeah. He's throwing these things, out the side of the pickup truck at Arnold, who's on a motorcycle. And even like, a simple deflagration should at least do something to knock him off the motorcycle. And this is just like, nope. So Arnold, fires some bullets at them. It's a lot of like, I throw bomb, you shoot bullets kind of deal for a while. But then Arnold hits Reese, so Reese is shot now. But Sarah, is like, wait a minute, you're in a motorcycle. I'm in a fucking pickup truck, and just knocks him into a wall.
Yeah.
And Arnold skids for like forever. Just gets like to see. What's that
dummy? They only had to show it for a second, but it was mwah.
See, here's the thing. I missed that because I got to be honest. Quick. At this point, I had checked out a little bit. I was like, "Oh, another car chase. Time to check my phone."
So Arnold was just like, "Oh, that was some sucky road rash, but good thing I'm a robot." And he sits up, and that Ertl truck from earlier in the movie gets his revenge by hitting him with a fucking 18-wheeler. And like dragging him forever under this thing. Like, this is pretty brutal.
And that dummy they used for that.
Yeah. They just threw a dummy under a truck and put a bunch of cameras under there. All right. So
probably the same dummy. $6 million. You don't have a budget for 2 dummies.
So the truck driver gets out. Arnold just kills him somehow. And then there's this like other guy in the truck. This Arnold climbs up in there, and he's missing most of his face at this point. He's beat to hell, and he's just like, get out. So that guy's like, no problem. And now he's chasing Sarah, who's running on foot with a 18-wheeler forever.
Mm-hmm. Like in a straight line.
Yeah. Maybe he doesn't know how to get it out of first gear, but like he's chasing her forever.
They could have edited that like a minute shorter, because like by the time Kyle puts the fucking the pipe bomb in the thing, he jumps into the fucking dumpster.
Yeah.
It's like 3 minutes he's in the dumpster.
I know. He goes 6 blocks before that stupid pipe bomb goes off.
Like, honestly, I just don't think he knew how to work the clutch and never got it out of first gear.
Well, not only that, but like the pipe bomb has such a long fuse. Like, you're dealing with a robot that you have like minimal amount of time to actually react to and whatever.
Yeah.
And you make this bomb with like a 6-minute fuse on it. Like, what are you going to do? Just sneak it in its pants and walk away? Hopefully it doesn't know.
So this pipe bomb, which is just put literally in a pipe on the end of the truck, goes off, and it blows this truck up like the damn Hindenburg. And like Sarah's fine, but Arnold, he's burnt to shit. He climbs out of the truck and then like falls over, and you see the flesh burn away on him, and you're like, cool, he's dead. That was a pretty cool, villain, cool movie. And Kyle comes back, he comes through the smoke all heroic.
And the studio wanted to end it here, by the way.
Mm-hmm. The heroic music's playing. You're like, this is an okay movie. I liked it. Arnold's like, bitch, I ain't done yet. Boom. Jankiest fucking claymation robot you ever saw pops out. But oh my god, when I was a kid, this gave me fucking nightmares, this thing. And okay, from an objective standpoint, when it is standing still, the T-800 looks fucking impressive.
It's a cool design.
You look at that and you're like, oh my god, that thing is so cool.
Well, here's the thing. Yeah, because there are 2, major factors here. Yep. One is they made a practical skeleton, full-bodied and everything, for just like the standing parts and when it's close up with the head and things like that. Yeah, it's when it's moving in the stop motion that doesn't quite hold up as well.
Yeah. So, I will also say that it's been hit by a truck. It's been blown up. It's been in multiple car crashes, and it's been shotgunned probably 30 times. So maybe its walk cycle is a little interrupted. That's the only way I could explain why it's moving like that. But
I will say I think that is narratively part of it, because if you look at the part where it's showing his feet, it does look and sound like it's dragging one of its legs.
Yep,
it's limping.
Yes.
Yeah. So all right, that gives it a little bit more of a pass. Yeah. But anyway, so they go to just a random factory that they happen to be by, and
I think they killed Chucky over here. Let's check it out.
So they go in there and they're like, they turn on all the robots and they're like, we'll hide from the robot in all the robots.
No, these are just like car making robot, like
Yep.
assembly robots, not like.
But
not like
it
humanoid
fits the
robots.
symbolism of what's going on.
Yeah. I just want to explain to our 0 people that haven't seen this movie. Yeah. Explain to them.
Yeah, there's like metal presses, there's like robot arms, there's, conveyor belts. It's a nice spot to have a boss battle. So the Terminator jankily walks over to the door that they've locked, and then some grips off screen take the standing Terminator skeleton and routinely slam it against the door. But you're still like, oh, that thing looks so cool. Never mind fact that like this thing can't move. It gets in there and it's chasing them around, and like Kyle's like, okay, I'm shot. I don't feel like walking from this thing anymore. I got a pipe. This is not gonna work, but I'm gonna do it anyway. And decides to like try hitting this metal robot with a pipe. Robot's one bitch slap like negates the entire thing. And so Kyle's like, fine, you want to do that? I'm just going to blow your crotch up with a pipe bomb. And yeah, the robot's like, oh, my junk. And gets blown up. Sarah gets hit with a big piece of metal. And this is probably the most like part of the movie, because that looks like that legit sucked. She's got this giant like 2.5 inch piece of metal in her. Kyle's just dead.
I will also say, just to prove what an actual badass she is, apparently they held off on filming a lot of these scenes till the end, because somewhere in here, or maybe not related to the movie, I wasn't sure, but she had broken her ankle, so they tried to give her more time to heal. But in this, they still like had to wrap it every day, and she was in constant pain because like all the scenes are just running.
So she like Jackie Chan that.
Yeah.
All right, so the Terminator's like, I am not done. Like, this is like the 6th or 7th time in this film where you thought I was dead, and I'm not. I don't have a crotch anymore. I don't have legs, but I'm still going to kill you. And so we get this, like, it's reduced to a crawl. Like, she's crawling away. It's crawling after. At one point, they have to get on a conveyor belt and just roll after each other. And then, cleverly, she crawls through a metal press. And then I'm surprised in all that like hubbub, she remembered to close the door for the press so that it would actually run, but she did. And the Terminator, it's got his hand by her throat, but she hits the on button and reminds it that it is terminated and that it is indeed a fucker. And in a factory similar to where it was probably born, it is finally killed in a metal press in a very memorable death of a movie villain. Like,
I think it would have been funny if they got to that point and it was like, yeah, I made a future metal. This shit breaks on me. I don't break on it.
Well, like
vibranium, bitch.
A few years later, they try this shit on RoboCop, and he just pushes the press apart with his arms. In RoboCop 2. But anyway, so this is one of those things where I'm like one of the reasons I was so mad in Terminator 3 when like the bad guy Terminator, at one point they lock it in a particle accelerator and turn it on, and that doesn't kill it. And I'm like that should totally do that. Like, I don't like it when it's like this thing that should work doesn't work. And like here, I thought it was perfect. It's like, it came from a factory. It died in a factory. It was a cool, like, symbol there. And I liked that, the machines that, were our enemy in this case ended up finally saving her. So either way, this thing's dead. All that's left is the arm sticking out of it and a pile of scrap metal. You see the red light in its eyes finally go out, and the cops arrive just in time to be useless.
Just in time.
And we cut to Sarah's just right around the desert. She's got a gun. She's got a dog. She's got a baby in her belly, and
she's got a ridiculous idea in her head.
Mm-hmm. She's all set for the future. And yeah. I do like in Terminator 2 that like exactly where she would end up, in an insane asylum.
Yep.
So this kid takes a picture of her, like a Polaroid. Turns out it is the picture that Kyle Reese gets.
Also, turns out somehow he got a shot from her from about 3 feet higher than he would have been.
A little kid at all capable of. That is a good point. I didn't consider that. But this the gas station attendant tells her there's a storm coming. She's like, I know, and then boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Boom,
So I want to talk about her other final words here.
Rob, boom, 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 boom.
She's like,
he said, bum, 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 bum.
Yeah, I don't care. She's like, we only knew each other for a few hours.
Yeah, that was not a few hours.
But we loved a lifetime's worth.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, no, you didn't. You banged one time and just pissed around for days. Like,
by the time you were done getting dressed from that bang session, Arnold was in the motel room spraying gunfire.
The whole time, like, your entire relationship was him telling you about robot violence. That's
Rob, when she said it was a lifetime of loving, she meant it was a good bang sesh.
Okay. All right.
He seemed to be the only person in this movie that at all like believed in her or whatever. So I mean, I guess I'll give him that.
There you go.
But I will counter your point with boom, 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 boom.
Yeah,
he was the only person that didn't put ice cream in my apron or excitedly got me to a TV to tell me I was dead.
He put ice cream in her apron, all right.
He sure did.
And then the second nicest person to her was Ginger, and Ginger ate all the damn food all the time.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah.
All right, so that's it. That's Terminator. Credits roll.
Ba-ba-bum-ba-bum.
That's not how the song goes.
Tony!
Yeah, so on Rotten Tomatoes, this is our first critics rated 100 movie.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
I didn't know those actually existed.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it would have been that way when it first came out or whatever, but certainly now it's getting 100%.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And audiences gave this a 89%.
Mm-hmm. That
is their thoughts and opinions. What about you and yours, Joe?
I fucking love this movie. So we've said some fairly harsh words about it, but like this movie's awesome. It's a great villain. I think despite the fact that he is not a very good pick for an infiltration unit, he was the perfect casting for that role. Probably like while there are Arnold movies that I like better, it's probably my favorite Arnold Schwarzenegger role. And then, Linda Hamilton and Michael Biehn are like iconic in this movie too. The special effects they don't hold up well, but the nostalgia that they pack for me still registers. Like I got a feeling if I saw this movie today, it wouldn't have made as much of an impact on me. But from the time that I saw it, this movie blew me away, and it's something that I've grown up with, and it is a part of me. So I'm going to recommend this movie. And as far as the 100% score goes, if it's going by the metric of like critic approves or critic doesn't approve, like pass fail, I can see 100 because like it's who doesn't like the Terminator? I mean, maybe we'll find out when everyone else gets a chance to talk. But like, it's, is this the best movie like ever made by, or, mentioned in the category of the best movies ever made? No. Like 100% rating would suggest it's not that great, but I do consider it to be like an A. I don't put it on of the 80s, the iconic 80s action franchises, it's probably my least favorite. Like I would take Aliens, RoboCop, Predator, I'd take all of them over it. But it's just below that tier. So like A- probably. A-. But either way, it's a great movie.
Okay. Brian.
Yeah, so it's not 100 to me, but it is a solid movie. It gets a little bit long, I think, because with all the chase scenes over and over again, you're like, oh, here's another one, like you're like whatever. But like it's Arnold's role is perfect because he doesn't talk much, which I think is why he wasn't cast in the Kyle part, because he would have had to talk more often. But yeah, like it was menacing. Linda Hamilton, like she played her part well. You know, Michael, whatever his name, plays his part well. Everyone kind of fit. All the side characters kind of fit for the roles too. It was a solid movie. Like Joe was saying, there are other ones that I would like more, but yeah, it's an A for me. Like I'd watch this, you know, anytime it comes on. You know, I'm down to watch it.
Yeah, for me, same thing. Definitely recommend. If you haven't seen this, you should see it. Definitely an A for me. Also the same of, it's probably not my favorite of the franchises, especially because this is another one that peters out pretty quickly. But yeah, it's a fantastic movie. It is actually now being held in the regards of like some of the greatest movies of all time, believe it or not. And it is a fantastic movie. It does have some flaws, and yes, some special effects that don't quite have, you know, the staying power. But a lot of, honestly, like, I think if they had tried to do anything CGI, especially then, that would have been way worse. And so, you know, we don't need that kind of garbage. But yeah, so definitely A for me. Definitely recommend. Rob.
So I guess I'm going to be the outlier here. I did not enjoy this movie nearly as much as I did when I was like growing up. I was still recommending it. I still think it's a solid movie. But for me, it's like a B minus. I felt it was like Brian said, it outstayed its welcome with me a little bit. Just the constant car chases that were not exciting car chases to me. However, I think Arnold Schwarzenegger is perfect for this role. Like it fits him absolutely perfectly. Mm-hmm. I loved Michael Biehn. I thought Linda, you know, all the actors were great. I think part of it is I have no real attachment to the Terminator franchise. I've only ever seen the first two movies, and I haven't bothered to even check out any of the others. And I don't have the nostalgic attachment that certainly, you know, Joe does, and some of you guys may do. I've saw this movie a bunch of times, but it was never oh, I need to watch Terminator. I'm much more of an Alien / Predator guy, and a lot of time when I was watching the movie, I was like, all right, it's another car chase. I kind of wish I was watching Predator. So while I do still like the movie, I just don't hold it nearly as highly as I guess the rest of you guys do. So it's like a B minus for me, but I still recommend it. I think for what it did at the time, you know, it had a lot of really cool effects and a lot of cool stuff going on. I just don't think it holds up today quite as well as I thought it was going to. So that's me.
Like you're talking about how you're the outlier, but giving it a B. Like you're not that far off.
It's more like a B minus C plus.
Well, still, like I get what you're saying, but it's, you know, you're not trashing on the movie. You're not. Like,
no, and I don't think the movie's trash. I just I started to no longer enjoy it as it went on. And I was like, this movie needs to be like over.
Yeah, compared to the company that it's usually kept in, Rob would prefer any of those.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah. To a larger degree, I think, than the rest of us would.
I'm not hating on it by any stretch.
I mean, so okay, of the four of Aliens, I'm gonna throw RoboCop in there. Aliens, RoboCop, Terminator, and Predator. You know, would anybody not put this last in that list?
I don't know, because RoboCop sequels are terrible.
No. Just the first movie.
Oh, just the movie. Just the movie. Okay.
Sequels are all of them get terrible at some point. Like
this would be last, because Alien, Predator, and RoboCop to me, are almost they're almost perfect movies.
Yeah. Right. Yep. Yeah. That's how I feel too. Yeah.
So this one's not bad, but it's not on the same tier.
Mm-hmm. Like I find this one, the villain. Well, no, I can't really say. I'd almost say the villain is a little more compelling, but the villains in all of them are very interesting. So I can't say that, but like I don't know.
I mean, RoboCop might have the weakest villain. I mean,
don't talk shit about Clarence Boddicker.
No, Boddicker's awesome.
And his Cobra assault cannon. Do not do that.
Boddicker's awesome, but at the end of the day, he is just a dude being an asshole.
He's that guy from that '70s show with a 20-foot long cannon.
Yeah, he's like, you know, he's a bargain basement Joker, basically.
Yeah. I think one of the biggest, so this movie and Predator, their villains are like unstoppable forces. Mm-hmm. Like Predator just does it better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Predator, like for the time frame this is set in, yes, it's a robot that you can't stop. Bullets don't hurt it. It's no matter what you do, it's coming for you, whatever. But Predator does that like one step further. So that's why I think that's a little bit better.
So
plus, the scenes are more action filled, whatever. So
also, I feel like the effects in Predator hold up a lot better too.
They do.
So versus a properly equipped foe, I feel like aliens and Terminators are almost completely manageable. Like they'll still have the advantage on you, but you can for the most part, like if you know what you're doing and you have the right weaponry, like you can take them down. The Predator was facing people who were properly equipped and properly skilled to kill it.
Yeah.
And still tearing their ass up.
Predator's not above being a sore loser either.
Yeah, correct.
It's like, you got me down. I'll just cheat.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'll put in this cheat code right here.
Yeah, he's like, I am better at stealth than you. I am better at mobility than you. And I have a better gun than you do.
Now, who has the overall worst franchise?
That's a good question. All right, so let's see. So Alien and Aliens, like I don't think any other franchise can follow up their first movie as well as Aliens followed up Alien. Predator 2 is okay.
It's fine.
It's okay.
It's fine.
To me, I would put Predator 2 on the same tier as I would put Terminator.
See that?
But again, that's me not really having an attachment to the
it's not
franchise.
At best, I could say against that is it's not that far from it.
You get a lot of really sweaty Danny Glover, and you can't you can't say no to really sweaty Danny.
You do get the longest chase scene in the whole fucking world, but it's on foot for Terminator. Like Terminator 2, half that movie is just a chase scene. Or I'm sorry, not Terminator 2, Predator 2.
Oh yeah.
Half that movie is just a foot chase.
Yeah.
But anyway,
it's got Gary Busey.
Yeah.
You got a
Predator.
big nose.
Yeah. So Predator 2 is fine. Aliens versus Predator is okay.
Not garbage.
Then it's
I would say bad.
Over after that. Terminator 2, I don't like as much as a lot of other people do. And Terminator 2, like, to me, it's one of those movies that's lumped in with The Matrix as like something in the 90s that hot-shotted way too much and made things to like top that, and then you can't. Yeah. And it, like, people focused on the wrong things in action.
I mean, watching this
movies.
It really struck me how much Terminator 2 is just like a winking, like, hey, remember this?
Yep.
Remember this scene?
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
Yeah, well, it was like the producers told him, like, multiply everything about that first movie by 2.
Right.
Except for, the compelling characters and stuff, whatever. But anyway, like, after that, though, with Terminator, the movies are done. Like, 3 had some cool ideas, but it sucked. And then, like, I haven't seen the other Terminator movies, but I've not heard anything good about them. And Terminator Genesis, they misspelled the title. Badly.
They misspelled the title.
There's a Y in there somewhere, like Genesis. It's not.
What? I mean,
well,
I believe that's
being
intentional.
cutesy, but yeah.
Well, so, but look at like,
yeah.
My point is, like, look at like Alien Cubed. Like, you fucked up the title. The movie sucks.
Mm-hmm.
So Alien has 2 really strong movies, and then the rest of it's not so good. Right. Terminator has 2 strong movies, one of which I don't think is that strong, but I will acknowledge is everyone regards it as a strong movie.
And then
and then it fucks up. Predator has a movie that's near perfect, a movie that's fine, a movie that's okay, and then garbage.
Well, so what? Well, are we considering Alien versus Predator movies as Predator sequels? Because we have Predator, we have Predator 2.
They're a blight on both houses.
Right. It's not good for either franchise.
So Predator does have 4 movies in its own franchise.
Mm-hmm.
So it's Predator, Predator 2, Predators, and then The Predator.
Yep.
I did not enjoy The Predator at all.
Yeah, I did.
I forgot about Predators, and I'm sorry because everyone always forgets about Predators, and Predators is a good movie.
I think it's totally fine Predator movie.
Yep.
I don't know if I've seen that one. That's the one on that weird planet with the pyramid?
Yeah. No. That's Alien versus Predator. That's
Yeah.
that weird planet is Earth.
Oh,
Yeah, it's not a good time.
Yeah,
Predators is on a weird planet, but it's like just there's no pyramid. It's just kind of it's weird. There's Lawrence Fishburne.
isn't like Adrian Brody in one of them?
Yeah,
Adrian Brody.
He's
Yep.
Predators. Yeah, it's weird. It's hard to explain.
Yes, I
Guy
never
has a
saw that
sword
one.
fight with a predator.
Yes.
It's hard to call,
Gotcha.
but I think Predator has the most movies that are at least passable.
Yeah, that's fair.
That involve just the Predator. So we might have to give it to him for that. RoboCop has one great movie, and then it's done.
It's just a
So RoboCop's right out.
You don't like the robot ninjas?
Oh, God. Ugh.
Yeah, I don't think all of RoboCop 2 is terrible, but
Right.
yeah, 3 is borderline unwatchable.
Yeah. 3, one of the cast members is like, I'll only be in it if you kill me off forever in
Yeah.
like the first 15 minutes.
She Han Soloed it.
Mhm.
And yeah, the Predator.
Yo, I enjoyed it. It was fun.
It
It was dumb. It was so dumb.
Is that the one with
that's the
Peel
thing. With Peel?
or Key, or which one is it?
Key.
Key. Okay.
Yeah.
I totally
That's
forgot he was in it.
yeah. I've only seen the kill count recap of that, but I'm like, I don't have the strength. I
No,
can't see that happen
it's-
to my Predator.
Well, the bigger thing for me is just like the storyline is they came here because they want to catch autism or something, and they have the audacity to end it with a "you're not gonna believe this" with a souped-up Predator armor. Like,
Cyber suit.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, the less said about that, the better.
Yeah.
Until we roll it.
It was fun. It didn't take it so seriously at all. That's why I could turn my brain off and just enjoy it. Like it was fun.
Well, that's what I like about Predators.
And
'cause
that's one of the
that's very
things-
much what that is. But
yeah. Again, I still haven't seen that one, so I can't weigh in on that. But the Predator, if it wasn't part of the Predator franchise, I could probably be more in line with.
wait,
just
you
being
haven't
like,
seen Predators?
I don't think I have.
Yeah, I don't think I have either.
Really?
I'm almost positive, Tony, you were
On that
there
hard
when we
leave.
watched at Rob's apartment, but I don't know 100% for sure.
Or I blacked it out. I don't know.
It's got a Toby. No, not Toby. Topher
Yeah,
Grace.
Yeah, freaking
Oh, fuck that guy.
Venom.
A very weird,
Very weird role.
very weird role. All right, so
Ever since
Yeah.
that dude tried to take my friend's girlfriend, I don't like that guy.
Oh,
well, I mean, he's not a nice person in anything he's in, so it's it's easy to. All right, so again, listeners, you want to weigh in on this, the franchise wars? Please do. The 4am podcast at gmail.com. Don't forget the part and the number 4am podcast at gmail.com. Guys, where do we go from here?
I don't know what's next.
Who rolled last? I don't remember.
Oh,
When
someone
was the
rolled
last
this?
time we rolled?
Yeah, I don't remember.
No,
So
nobody rolled this one. I believe we picked it special.
we're just starting with Tony then?
I mean, this is technically a special episode. Have we even mentioned that?
We have not. We have not. This is our 200th episode, sort of, kind of.
That's,
Depending on who you ask.
I know, right?
Well, our numbering system's a little out of whack,
It's like
Hmm.
the Bible. You got to add or subtract a few years from each of the
Yeah,
dates.
I mean, okay.
If only someone had mentioned that sooner.
Let's not
Oh,
have
yeah.
this argument in the middle of an episode.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So who's gonna roll? Is it Tony gonna roll? Tony gonna roll?
I suppose, but Tony was not prepared to have a die ready.
Who has a die
Right, you have
ready?
the internet, right?
Die roller pops right up.
Yeah, give me a minute here.
You're like, hey Google, roll a 20-sided die.
You know what's sad? There was a stage in each of our lives where we would have been prepared with die on us at all times to roll.
Oh yeah, I
Across
used
the
to,
room. It's over there. I don't feel like moving to get it.
Yeah, I can reach and grab one and just
oh
Yeah,
yeah, I
just-
guess. Hold on, I got open apps and shit.
No, just go on the computer right in front of you. Just type D20 roller and it pops right up.
All right, hold.
the plight of a grown adult man trying to roll a 20-sided dice. White privilege truly at its finest, ladies and gentlemen.
What?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Okay, so D20 roll.
Mm.
I got a 14.
Oh boy, Joe's gonna be so excited about this one.
Fuck.
Speaking of Topher Grace,
Oh no.
he's not in this movie, but it is Spider-Man 2 from 2004.
Oh, I have been meaning at some point to revisit this.
Sam Raimi, Spider-Man,
All right.
number 2 with Dr. No Shirt Octopus.
That's right.
Okay with this.
I got a little microchip.
In a little glass
in the back.
bubble right in the back.
That without it, the arms automatically turn.
Let's save it. Let's save it.
I'm already feeling it. This, oh.
Let's save it.
All right. Well then. It's okay. They'll fix it when he's back for Spider-Man 3. Gents, it's been real. Listeners, it's been even more real. Patrons, it's been the realest. Guys, we want to thank you so very much for listening. We want to thank our patrons for sponsoring these episodes, keeping this coming. Could not do it. Would not do it without you. If you enjoyed what you heard, you can find more of our episodes at www.4ampodcast.podbean.com. You can support us by picking up some merch at teespring.com/4ampodcast, although it's changing to just spring, and I don't know if that's going to mess up the
Everything.
address or not. Yeah, I honestly don't know what the deal is at. But if you want to support the podcast and get access to patrons only content, you can check us out at patreon.com/4ampodcast. And of course, email us at the4ampodcast@gmail.com. What y'all got in the booze?
No, thanks for listening. Thanks for hanging out.
Indeed. When this was pitched to me, God, when the hell did we even start doing this? It's been years now.
2015
It's been a while.
or something like that.
Yeah, when this was pitched to me by Tony way back in the day, I did not think it would last for 200 episodes.
And damn if we didn't try to kill it
Several times.
sometimes.
We still did
through the highs and the lows, though, it's been a pleasure reviewing 200 plus films, depending on who you ask with you guys.
Wait, depending on who you ask, if it was a pleasure or if it was 200.
Any part of my statement.
all of the above.
Oh, you guys are so cute. Well, I'm gonna go have some dinner and go to bed. Yeah.
I'm gonna go write a paper.
Woo!
Yeah. All right.
Join us next time.
Bye. Adios.
Deuces.
Spider-Man 2.
Bum 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 bum.
Good night, everybody.
Bum 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 bum.